Hey, if there's one car, Jason Buttonfield, that I have been seeing everywhere, it's your Texaco 69 Camaro. This thing is just a killer ride. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is my first car. I had it since high school, since I was 15.
You've had this same 69 Camaro.
The same 69 Camaro. Same VIN, obviously a different iteration. It's got all new quarters and things like that, but this is from high school. The hood's from high school. We just cut some vents into it. There's some underneath stuff that's still there, but everything's all brand new underneath. It's a frame off build, done by Mike Dussault Designs. I live up in Dallas. He shops up there.
So you're here locally?
Yeah, up in Dallas.
So
yeah.
You've taken this to some different autocrosses, and I mean, this car,
yeah,
it's taken over the internet in the last year or so as being like one of the hottest 69 Camaros.
Yeah, it's done great. I mean, the thing is, it's a Texaco Camaro. We didn't steal the theme from any other car, but what we wanted was an old 60s Trans Am style theme. So we came up with the design, and then we said, look, let's make it look like it's 50 years old and distress it down. You'll see right here, a lot of people can't tell from pictures, but these are hand brushed on and then distressed down so you can see the brush strokes.
So this isn't some,
This is not a wrap.
This isn't a wrap. This is a really nice custom paint job. This is beautiful.
And something really cool that you can't see from pictures is that these are aluminum, hand fabricated, can't be bought, and then aircraft rivets in here that Mike did. He paints planes, and so he is familiar with aircraft riveting on his own car that he won Optima with.
Right.
And so it's a super cool kind of idea, and then there's just a lot of geometry built underneath that you can't see. I mean, everything underneath is just total spec stuff. So
and of course the LT5 under the hood with
the LT5. The crate motor dropped at SEMA 2019, and we were in the position for our build to do a twin turbo, and then I was waiting for this to drop, and it did. So we got one of the first ones in, and then Drive Junkie actually had to do a custom accessory drive because the Corvettes run an electric power steering pump. I've got a reverse spun power steering pump right here. So I had to wait on that, so that slowed our build down because there's just no aftermarket parts for this motor.
So this is, and by the way, your hood hinges, are those Eddie Motorsports? Or?
Yeah, so the hood hinges are all billet. We just thought it would be a super cool design to have it on there versus the old ones with springs.
This isn't just a show car. I mean, you out here, we're out here at Circuit of the Americas, and you guys, this is the same spot.
I've already done 2 passes on the World Autocross, and then we're going to do 2 more days at the Optima Ultimate Street Car Invitational. So I've been ripping on it. I rip on this car, and I've ripped this whole front A-arm off. We had a little spindle issue, but so luckily it didn't do any body damage. But we're putting it through its rungs. I mean, with the patina, as it gets patinaed more from rock chips, you can't see it, but I can feel it. It feels like a scruffy face.
Well, it's textured.
It's textured now, so it's just adding more.
Well,
to the
as I said, this thing debuted. It was a SEMA car. It's
a SEMA level build.
Absolutely stunning build, and it's an autocrosser. So you're hitting it on all cylinders.
Yeah, and then the rear end is a custom 3-link. So Mike Dussault built the rear end. I actually have 1.5 degrees of camber on the straight axle diff, and then it's a full floater rear end as well. So
tell us, what was the Texaco connection?
Yeah, so the Texaco connection is that my father's dad, my grandfather, had a Texaco station from the 60s to the early 80s. And
right.
Basically, we would go visit him, and we would go up to the Texaco station, and every now and then we'd get it was full service at that time, so you get to clean the windows and stuff. But my grandfather worked on cars. He had a lot of GM products, so the only thing I drive is GM. But so that's where we came up with the Texaco idea. Underneath here, you can't see it, but there's a big 18 that's hand brushed on. That was my baseball number. I played a couple years of some professional baseball.
Nice.
And but it's just a super cool opportunity to have a car that you dream about as a little kid, to have something like this. Sometimes you never get it, but I'm here, and I didn't want it to just sit in a garage and cruise around to shows. I wanted to get out and have it perform, because there's no reason to have all this stuff. There's so much stuff up front that allows this car to perform. The air box is dammed straight through the intercoolers and the radiator, so I'm forcing all the air through to the front. And these old 60s Camaros, this is all open right here. Now it's dammed off, and the air jams straight through here into this huge poly front.
So this is just wide open in front. You're pushing all that air.
See how this is dammed off, and it's pushing it right in. So I'm not losing anything, no air. But then when the air comes through, it vents out of here and causes these old cars have an air bubble. So over 70, the car will start to lift as you get faster and faster. Now we're venting it out and keeping that air bubble out of there.
Wow. Hey, well, this thing, I mean, we've been seeing it. We've seen your website. We've seen you on Instagram.
Yeah.
This is,
Texaco Camaro on Instagram, TexacoCamaro.com.
and we're out here with the Ultimate Streetcar Challenge with Optima and the High Performance Expo at COTA out here in Austin, Texas. Hey, we appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.